Hi Caleb, it's Sarah. I'm going to help you with your math here. So you're dividing decimals. So it's kind of hard to think with decimals because it makes it look like it's a harder number. But if you can make these more simple about numbers that we do know about, we can make it a little bit easier. So the rule of thumb is how many times you move the decimal in one number, you have to move it that many times in the other number. So the reason we're moving it is so that way it's a whole number and not a partial number or a decimal. So if we move this decimal one time over, then we have to move this one time over. So then we have 225 divided by 75. Now that problem is a lot easier to think about than the decimals. So you're thinking 225 divided by 75. You can think about money. I'm not sure if they've taught you long division, but since you have whole numbers, it would make sense to do long division. Or think, okay, you have 75. You want to know how many 75s can fit in 225. So we have 75 and 75. That gives me 150. If I add another 75, that's 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 plus 7 is 2. Carry the 1, or that's 12, I'm sorry. Carry the 1, 225. So we have 1, 2, 3 75s. So that means we have 225 divided by 75 is 3. There are 3 75s in 225. Now, you may be thinking, how does that relate to here? Well, you changed the problem to make it easier for you to look at, but 225 or 22.5 divided by 7.5 is actually 3 as well. There are 3 7.5s in 2 and 22.5. So a way to show that is you can do, because you always sometimes want to check your answer, especially if you're not sure. But if I add 3 of these, because that's what we're saying, there's 3 7.5s in 22.5. Let's see what we get. So we get 5, 10, 15. Carry the 1. I lined up my decimal points. 7 plus 7 plus 7. So I can do 7 times 3, which is 21, plus 1 is 22. So that checks out that 3 7.5s are in 22.5. So the idea with your math that you're doing right now is trying to make it work with numbers that are easier for you, which are whole numbers. So this one, the decimal point's here, so we're going to move it 1. Now if we only moved it one spot, it would be 3.6, so we still don't have a whole number, so we have to move it one more, and that makes it 36. But because I moved this 2 times, I need to move this one 2 times. And 006 is really just 6. Now this problem is saying 36 divided by 6, which is 6. Or how many 6s are there in 36? And there's 6. So the idea though is because we made the problem easier, the thing is we didn't change the how much is here. We changed the way it looked, but it's okay to do that as long as you do it to both of them. And then that way you can deal with the whole numbers. So 0.36 divided by 0.06 is 6. So same here, you're going to move this 1, 2, move this 1, 2. So now your new problem is 336 divided by 6. For this one, I would recommend doing long division and then going from there for that one. But I want to talk about number 14 on your worksheet. I noticed, see how you have a whole number? 9 already, so that's good. This one you have a decimal, so just to make it easier for us to handle, let's make it a whole number. So we got to move it 1, 2. So it's 225. But what we said was if we move this 2 times, we have to move this 2 times. So you have to think about where is the decimal point on this one. If it was in front, it would be 0.9. If it's in the behind it, then it's 9, and that is just 9. So you got to imagine that there's a decimal point there, and you're moving it 1, 2. So the question is, what do we put in places there, kind of placeholders, and we're going to put zeros in those placeholders. So we still have to move the decimal twice. It's still here, it's just they don't write it usually if it's a whole number. Like 225, you could write it 225 decimal point, but we don't usually write it that way. So this is really 900 divided by 225. So you can think, how many 225s are there in 900? So you can do long division, you can group them together. Let me get my lighting here. So if I add those, 5 plus 5 is 10, carry the 1. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So I have 1, 2. So 2 225s gives me 450. Let's add 225 again. I'm going to get another 450. So that's 3, 4. But what's 450 plus 450? 450 plus 450. 0, 10, carry the 1, 4 plus 4 is 8, is the 900 that we need. So that means there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 225s in 900. And there's different ways you can do this, but I just always like to check it with adding it. So that means 9 divided by 2.25 is 4. Now this one you can think about money a little bit easier. If you had $2.25, how many groups of $2.25 would you need to get to $9? And you need 4 of those. So hopefully that's helpful with those.